Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to be doing our live updates here shortly. If you would give us a thumbs up on the audio. We've had to move locations today for voter registrars getting ready for our elections and got our room working. So if you got something, let us know. We'll be back here right at 3.
Good afternoon, everyone. Kind of a gloomy, rainy evening out there today, so we had to move into another room here because of our election testing going on out in there in our main room. I'll start with just some questions I've been asked since yesterday. Some things we did touch on yesterday, and I will revisit them. But as far as the testing site in Dade County, that's something that we were working on. Alex and I both are trying to find a vendor that actually is selling kits that still are making them available. Every site that we've talked to, even the one in Lafayette, all three of those sites over there in Ringo and Walker County and Flintstone, they're having problems. They've shut down their testing. They're taking care of the customers that they've got that's been on the list, but they're having problem getting the kits themselves. I talked to Clay Tracy just a 3 minutes ago before I walked in here with our health department. He's out of Rome. He's in charge of our northwestern district here. And Clay, he said they're even having problems with their our main Georgia health site here, Georgia Health Department over in Walker County, just with the kits, and also the personal protection gear that they have to have. So we're working on that. Hopefully, real soon we'll be able to get a place here where our local people can go and do a drive-through, at least for the test of the antibody test, which that's where they actually prick your finger and take the blood test. And so just bear with us on that, but we're doing everything we can to try to make that happen in Dade County. That also, I might say that site right there is covering for them not only Dade, but it covers the county of Walker, Dade, Catoosa, Chattooga, and part of Gordon County, from what he told me. So it's not just us. They tried to centrally locate that site where everyone can use it. So, but we're doing what we can on that. Another question, and I'll ask Alex to touch, but just to touch on this, is on the FEMA report, whether we've gotten any word back from them on the people that didn't have insurance, whether that they've come across with anything. As far as I know, they haven't, but he can kind of give us just a little update on that. Our parks are still in the county. They're closed, except for the walking track. And it's not only because of the virus, but because we did have extensive damage there from the wind and the inline wind and tornadoes the other day. So, but that's something we're working on, and hopefully it'll work out. And around the same time area there where we can open it back up and to people. And I know a lot of people just this is a terrible time. We talked about this the other day about ball season and all, and soccer and baseball and softball and all that. But hopefully before too long we'll be able to get back to that. But we've got to go right with the guidelines here, and try to keep this thing from keep it down and keep it from spreading. Also, I mentioned that we are going to open our government offices back up on the 4th, which will be next coming Monday, and there will be some changes there. We'll have, as I said before, shields when you go up to the people in any of the offices, and also the judicial building over here, our courts facility. Be a little different there if you go in to see the probate judge and all. We do ask that when you come into the building that you do wear a mask, and we'll have a sanitizer table set up there where you can wash your hands. And but now you don't have to do. You can. We are going to leave the windows intact outside. If you feel uncomfortable coming into the building, that's fine. I mean, because we're going to leave the windows, where you can use those outside too. So that'll be your choice, But we just want you to feel that we're trying to get back to normal as we can. It's a slow process, but we've got to start, sometime getting out of this. Mentioned the park testing sites. We've got on Cloudland Canyon State Park. I always mention that every day because that is a big concern with people. That through the week's not really a question, but on the weekends it's still going to be the same as always. They've got plenty of help out there now. They got DNR helping them, and for I don't know how many weekends they're going to do this. I guess until they're not needed, but they will control traffic. 150 in, they shut the park down, and then they'll let in and out as they go when they close down in a few hours. So it's good that they're working there and doing that. Let's see here now. Make sure. Carey wanted me to mention this too, and she may touch on this in a minute too, but the Georgia Health Department website, the state website, it was shut down there a little while yesterday or last night. And when it came back up, the website it's a little different. They are doing and updating some things on the site every hour. And they've added a few new reports, and the website, she's got it posted on our website. But you go to COVID-19 and then FAQ, and that'll take you to the page. So it's pretty interesting if you want to go in and look at that. I'll go into our report today as far as our numbers go. Before I do that, I hope most of you watched this yesterday, but we did go into details about the way the numbers are reading now. I got this actually just a few minutes before the meeting yesterday, and it was from our health department out of Rome, just from Dr. Vacchio, which is our director of health, chief director of our district health, and the sites I mentioned a while ago. There's two different tests. There's a swab test that they do when you're having symptoms and you're recommended by a doctor or referred by a doctor to go take that. and then we have the test where your fingers prick, your blood test. And now what that does, that tells you if you've had the COVID and if it's in your system. Now they have been actually counting these tests in our numbers, the actual test, that test for that blood test. And as of yesterday, actually as of the 24th, but yesterday we were officially notified that those will no longer be part of our numbers anymore. And we also were notified that in Dade County, for instance, 11 of our cases that we're showing were subtracted. They can't officially be. They've not done that on the website, but we can officially subtract those cases as being confirmed active cases in Dade County. And so we've got 11 people, male or female, we don't know, but those are people that actually went through. They had their finger pricked, and it came back that they've had it, and that could have been all the way back from November, December, January, whatever. So they're back in life. They're back here, walking around and going back to work and living. So we're at 14 today in Dade, but if you take 11, we've only got 3 cases there, and of course one of those regrettably was deceased. So honestly, we're showing as of today only 2 cases in Dade County that we can that would be confirmed cases, and that those people were actually swabbed and actually had the fever and the whole thing since we and if you have any questions, I had some people call. I know Carey's had call us because it can get confusing, but if you really look at it, it's really not, because you're looking at two totally different tests that they're doing. We do have 58 in Walker County. They stayed the same just like we did yesterday. But see, Walker County alone, they've got 44 of those tests that was done, and most of them were done in a clinic there in Walker County, the blood test, and they came back positive that these people had it. But these people are already over it. They're already over it and back at work. And so you take that from Walker County, they go from 58. Cases down to 14. So, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Catoosa County, they're at 47. They went up one of the confirmed cases, but still, though, they had 23 of these other cases that they can subtract from that. So that brings them to 24. Chattooga County, they're at 16. They went up from 14 yesterday, and they only had 2 of the antibody tests that they could take away from theirs, so they subtracted. That puts them at 14. But Whitfield County, they went from 73 to 76. Gordon, 82 to 86. Floyd County, 134 to 138. Bartow County, 296 to 306. There's 564 unknown counties, that's out there somewhere, and they could be some of them on ours. But we were assured in Georgia, anyway, that from now on, these tests, that the antibody test will not show up on these numbers. So any numbers that we go up now from here on out, for sure, they will be totally swabbed, confirmed test. So if I know you'll have some questions, and please call and ask Carey. We didn't have a whole lot because a lot of people understood what we were talking about yesterday, especially if they'd been online. But don't sit there in doubt looking at the wall. Call us and we'll try to explain this to you. Because this just happened yesterday. Like I said, this letter, we just got it. They just emailed me 30 minutes or so before the meeting, before we did this yesterday. Moving to Tennessee, Hamilton County, they went from 146 to 149. They're showing 84 people have recovered, which is great, and they've had 13 deaths there in Hamilton County. Marion County, they stayed the same at 28, and they've had 22 people recover, and that's really good. They've only had 1 deceased. Grundy County, they stayed the same at 28. They've had 22 people showing recovery. Sequatchie County stayed the same at 5. They've had 3 recovered. Meigs County, they're at 6. They've had 3 recovered. Bradley County, they went from 45 to 46. They've had 37 people recovered with 1 deceased. Altogether, they've had 188 deaths in the state of Tennessee. That's up from 184 as of yesterday. Moving to Jackson County in Alabama, one of our neighbors, they went from 45 to 46. DeKalb County, they went from 75 to 76. So they're staying, they're not really jumping that drastically. So all in all, I mean, it pretty much is what it is, but it looks like, I mean, it kind of looks like we're on that, what was it you called it, a plateau or whatever, kind of a plateau. We've kind of reached up and it's kind of leveling off, and hopefully very, very soon, maybe after this week or so, we'll start seeing a decrease. The only thing the reason we might not is, the more testing that's done out there, not just in Georgia, but all over the whole country. And they are, hopefully, supposedly, they're going to flood the country, if you look at the federal government, and make these testing kits much, much more available. Then, of course, the numbers that are going to be out there, they're going to go up, But if you really look at it, since, say, November or December, and you look at these people that have had the blood tests, people right around us that we see every day, and they test positive. They know they thought they had the flu, but it was actually, so we've been around people that have had this, and evidently, the people that they've had it are the people that that they were around. If your immune system was really good and you weren't sick, then you didn't even know you were around them because you didn't get sick. So there's a lot out there, and a lot more to learn about this. And I know they learn every day more and more about it. But anyway, we got Alex. I'm gonna get him up here and let him give his report, and then Carey, she's gonna talk to us a little bit. But I just appreciate everyone, and be sure to call us. I did want to mention one thing. I'll be back here and talk about this, but this right here is we keep talking about the 20 points, of basic operation to reopen Georgia business. This is for businesses, to actually, this gives them a guideline of what we expect and what the state and what the people expect them to do when they open. And we have these available. If you need copies or carry, it's online. You can download it. And so if you own a business, any type of business that you're opening back up, doesn't matter if it's a church or whatever, get this. It's really informative and it's really easy to understand here. Alex, you want to come up and talk to us here a little bit? Come on.
Thank you, sir. Alex Case, Director of Dade County Emergency Services, Mayor, City of Trenton. First, we'll talk about, as you see, we do have some outside areas that are getting kind of cloudy. We are just been placed in a significant weather advisory from the National Weather Service to 3:45. There is a line of storms moving to us from our west. At this time, they have not projected any watches or warnings to us, but please monitor this weather. It's a quick, brief moving. If you watched your forecast last night, I think we posted some information yesterday evening, and then with the forecast last night and from our forecasters today, local, we should be okay. It is probably a pretty fast moving storm, not as severe as what we've seen in the last few weeks. Also, I'm gonna move, stay in the county here. There was a question that talked about churches. I would get with each one of your churches to see. I'm gonna talk for my church, Trenton First Baptist. We are opening May the 10th. And we're going to do 4 services, 8:30, 10:30, 12:30, and 2:30. We're still going to continue publishing out the 10:30 service via the web, and we're limiting the chairs. We've redone the whole sanctuary. Doors will be open for people don't have to touch doors, following these same 20 steps that Executive Rumley just talked about. These steps are for businesses, establishments, nonprofits, us, the county, city, to follow when we open. So I would encourage you to get with your church. I'm sure newsletters and stuff's going out. I seen that question come up a minute ago. So please get with your churches. And again, it's no handshaking, no hugging, social distancing. You're there in a house of worship to worship with your church family, and through praises and preaching, and then you're going to do that. So again, it's going to be our part, your part, and these churches' part. A lot of churches have called and got questions, and we're glad to help. Also, the DMV, we did talk about this earlier today. We are hearing they may give us a date when they will come back to the county. Ted was contacted, I believe, last week or earlier this week. They will, when they give us a date, and we work with them on safety measures for the Justice Building, the Dade County Sheriff's Office next to us, we will give that out soon. If you do have renewals, please go online. This question has come up several times in the weeks we've been doing this. Go to the DMV online, and if you're at a certain amount of time, you can renew your services online, unless you have to physically take a test or anything like that. But if you've got some concerns about your license, look it up online, and a lot of that can be renewed online. Executive Rumley also talked about the individual assistance that we've applied for. I've also seen a statement about somebody had called FEMA and they advised there's no money. What Georgia had to do in each one of our counties that was damaged in the April storms, we have to go out and get our assessment damage of destroyed or major affected or minor damages throughout the area. We had 12 homes destroyed, 11 uninsured, 7 major damages with 3 or 4 of them, I think 4 of them was uninsured, and then we had a minor damage and affected people. Total, we had 152 total affected properties throughout the path that storm come through. So we gather this information. They come up and flew with us one time over the sites to look. 2 days later, showed back up, and we drove them to every destroyed property and every major property for the FEMA advisor to look at that and help us to figure out what that was, and he would help grade that. Dade County, Catoosa County, Murray County, and Union County was the 4 counties that had a lot of damage, and that information that GEMA took in goes to a report for Governor Kemp to sign. Governor Kemp has signed that information and pushed it up to the federal government or to President Trump. If FEMA and them feel federal aid for individuals that is uninsured to do that, we will be notified when that happens, and we will have information to give you out. As you know, with the COVID going on and the other storms that happen throughout that's going to be determining. In that same matter, that the individuals we currently got some lists on, if you are involved with a local Dade County or area faith-based organization that would like to help individuals that's needs, we've got roofs that need repaired, still got stumps and trees, nothing on houses, but we got areas of the property that trees are in their yard that some need help. Now we have one organization that has helped with 3 other places, 3 to 4 other places in this county right now, a local ministry that's done that with their volunteers on the weekend. That's where we say volunteer organizations helping in an active disaster. This is the recovery phase that we have for folks that need help. So if you are a member of a local Dade County or area faith-based organization and would like to help a family or something that needs repairs, please give us a call. We'd be glad to give you the numbers and what we know about the properties. Some of it could be stumps in the backyards. Some of these families do not have the means to pay because they're on fixed Social Security or fixed disabilities and nothing to cover this, or their insurance deductible is so high for outside coverages, and a lot of homeowners' properties does not include the trees on your homeowners. So we know that some of these expenses is $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 and more, and on up into the teens to get some of these trees removed. But some of the homes that were destroyed or trees were on that were damaged have been tarped or temporarily tinned. We've got some that's still giving some damage. So if you're interested in that, please contact us, 706-657-4111, or get in contact with us with our through email. We'll be glad to get you in touch with that. Again, we currently need some affordable rent on a few residents of the same manner of fixed income of Social Security and or disability. We still know of one person that is displaced and is staying with friends and not much family, but a lot of friends and camping out. So again, this is a long recovery issue that we're dealing with, and any help will be appreciated. If there's anything you can do, please till the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We are still under that weather advisory. Again, thank you for what you do. Continue the social distancing. I'm going to turn my mayor hat on. The city of Trenton will open up on May the 11th. That is the following Monday after the county. Again, all the services of the city and county, if you need to call and get things done, we're still going to work with our emails, our phones, by phone. Again, if you do come to the facilities, we're asking that you wear a mask. We'll have sanitation areas in the beginning of the buildings. Most of our areas, there's going to be different looks inside the areas that are open. If you were used to walking in to certain offices and walking right back, that won't happen anymore. We're going to have an area with chairs pushed up and tables and these screen shields for respiratory issues so it don't hit folks. And you know, a lot of people's got concerns with this. A lot of our workers, because they are sitting down, and when you walk up to them standing up, you're over them. So we'll have distance tables so that you can't get right up to them. So please bear with us. You know, our concern is for the safety of these employees, ourselves, and for you as well. Again, you're just as responsible to make sure that you don't have signs or symptoms of this. If you cough or sneeze, please try to have your mask. I know a lot of those have been around. We'll have the sanitation. If not, continue giving us a call. If you're not comfortable coming in, give us a call at the city or the county, and we'll be glad to do everything we can in our powers to help you. Thank you for what you do and helping us during this transition.
I do have a couple of things to go over, and I did bring my laptop up here so you can see that, and we do have some questions that we'll answer, but I do want to remind you first to fill out your census at www.2020census.gov if you haven't filled that out yet. If you received it in the mail and you filled it out, then great, you don't need to do anything else, but if not, please visit www.2020census.gov and fill that out. And our census moment today, or our census fact, talks about planning. So data from the census inform a wide range of government business and nonprofit decision making. Governments and nonprofit organizations rely on decennial census data to determine the needs for new roads, hospitals, schools, and other public sector investments. Census data are also vital to businesses as a key source of information about the U.S. population's changing needs. So please go fill out your census today if you haven't done so. We did get a question about the library. When will it reopen? I do believe the date that they gave for that was May the 4th. So we can verify that, but I'm pretty sure they, May the 5th. So also, some of you ask about weather alerts and where you can receive those and where you can find COVID-19 information. So I brought my laptop up. We're going to see if we can zoom in on this so you can see this. This is our website at www.dadecounty-ga.gov. This is on our home page. So if you'll scroll down a little bit, you'll see these tabs. If you click here, this will take you to anything about severe weather. So there are links under this tab to sign up for our HyperReach, and also you can call 706-657-4111 if you've signed up for that service already, or if you would like to sign up for it and don't want to do it here, you can call that number. They'll help get you signed up. For anything COVID-19 related, here are our FAQs and information. So anything with COVID-19, click on this center tab, and it will tell you any kind of questions. It has guidelines for reopening America. So if you're a business owner and you need to see what those steps are that you need to meet, they're on that as well. And then this third tab is also about COVID-19. It is cancellations and schedule changes and reopenings. So as we get that information, that's where you'll find the information for local counties and businesses, government organizations for their reopening schedule. So make sure to check that out. We did also get a question about the accuracy of antibody tests, and as per the letter from Dr. Vocia that we received yesterday, who is the doctor over the Northwest region Georgia Department of Public Health. They said that those FDA regulations for antibody tests have been waived at this time. So those do not meet FDA, some of those do not meet FDA approval. So just be aware of that if you are getting antibody tests. And then also, for those of you who were on yesterday with us, we did want to tell you, some of you may have noticed that people were saying, I can't hear. We did get a definitive answer from Facebook regarding that. It seems that when Apple pushes out a large update, and those updates are not installed on personal devices, that it, for some reason, stops the sound and the video. So the sound quality is not a problem on our end. If you do have an Apple device, make sure that your updates are dated and up to date, and you should be able to hear just fine. We ran a test on that in-house yesterday with one of our Apple devices, and we intentionally did not update it to see if we could hear or not, and lo and behold, we couldn't hear either on that particular device. So it is due to Apple updates. So Samsung devices or Droid devices are working fine, laptops, computers, tablets. Also, if you do have an Apple device and you're having that problem, please know that you can go back and listen to the feed again in a replay, or you can watch it on our YouTube channel. So we did get that answer for you. If you have questions, feel free to call me at 423-290-6655, and I'll be glad to walk you through how to do those updates.
Thank you, Carey and Alex. We appreciate everyone working with us on all this, from our cleanup to going through this epidemic. I do want to mention before I go off here about the cleanup, try to keep putting your brush out to the side of the road there. That's going really smooth. We do have state people back in here today working. That's a good thing. They're working the state highways. They were in here yesterday. So we're gonna run it real hard for another couple of weeks and see how we are, and hopefully we can wrap it up, between now and a couple more weekends. And if not, we'll just we'll work with you on it. We're not really putting that as a deadline. We had questions too about the our little thing we do here, call it a program or whatever, information. We're not going to stop. We're going to kind of after this Friday, which will be the 30th, and shelter in place comes back in. We're gonna kind of go back, and we'll be back like twice a week, and we'll give you these same updates unless something really changes and things were to get really worse or whatever. We can come back in. We can start immediately and do it day to day. But right now, I feel comfortable with doing that. And it's not only going to be about the COVID and all. It'll be about anything that really concerns this county that you need to know as Dade Countyans, and also the city of Trenton. Mayor Case will be right here by my side. Sheriff Cross also. So it can be anything from weather to even a crime alert. We could have anything happen, but it's just good that we can actually come in here and hit so many people with this, because it's really a blessing to us and a blessing to you too. And so I think this is something you'll see from now on, probably. I feel regardless of who's in office, this is something that should happen, because this is another tool that we use to reach you as a people and keep you informed. Just a good place to live, Dade County. My number is 423-667-8999. And, if you need anything, call me. Need any questions answered. Carey, we have anything today? Anybody, anything that...
we do have a question. Stacy would like to know if the stay-home order has been extended.
As far as I know, not. But it is. It was mentioned this morning on a couple of things that I read that it has been talked about. But as far as we know, he is not, and I say he, the governor, has not, voiced any extension at all. So as far as we're concerned, tomorrow night at midnight, the staying home or shelter in place will be over, for Georgia. Now that don't mean everything comes right back. You need to really read, or listen to what we're saying. That's just a shelter in place. There's still a lot of things. We've got a long road to go yet, before the different phases are met, from our president and from our governor too. So, but we are going the right way, I feel.
Someone asked, didn't the governor extend the stay at home until May 13th.
No, that is for, it was never extended. That is for the people that have, chronic illness, or actually have your seniors, that are more vulnerable to this. That's only for them. But for the majority of the people, in the state of Georgia, it is over tomorrow night at 12. But if you have lung problems, or you have any kind of anything that would really make you more susceptible to actually for this to attack, or that definitely, I should have mentioned that. I wasn't even thinking about that. But that's not an extension. That was written in the original order.
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Very good.
Public Health recommends that.
And they do highly recommend it. The public health, the state of Georgia. Not only that, but it's just think about it. I mean, that's what I was saying a while ago about the people that have had it. A lot of these people has had it, and they're surprised. Say, oh man, they were, their immune systems and all, they were strong, and they didn't even know they had it. They just thought they either had a really bad cold or had the flu. There's been 2 different people I mentioned yesterday. They didn't even have a fever, but they tested positive for this. So it's just if you have any kind of sickness or whatever, you need to stay in at least till it was the 13th, right? Yep. May the 13th. Yep, May the 13th. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and we just appreciate everyone. And if you need us, just call us. Alex is easy to reach. I am also, and of course Carey, she monitors this thing, I think 24 hours a day there. So we appreciate her. But we'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Thank you so much.